You eat an apple. You think you chose it. Simple. But that apple's been planning this moment for 10,000 years, and it didn't need a brain to do it. It just needed you. Here's the strange part. The real answer is far stranger than anything you learned in school. You were taught that humans tamed plants, that agriculture was one of humanity's greatest inventions. But flip the story around. What if the wheat domesticated you? 10,000 years ago, a wild grass grew on a hillside in the Fertile Crescent. Humans started collecting its seeds, protecting it from weeds and drought. In return, it spread across the whole planet. Historian Yuval Noah Harari calls this the great trick of agriculture. Humans believe they domesticated wheat. In reality, wheat domesticated humans. They built permanent settlements because the grass demanded tending. They invented writing just to track the harvest. You call it the birth of society. The wheat calls it a successful recruitment. A species can't think, it can't plan, but it can still win, just by being slightly better at using whatever creature happens to be nearby. Long before farming, fruit trees ran the same operation. A fruit isn't a gift, it's a bribe. Bright color, sugar, smell, all of it exists to convince something with legs or wings to carry its seed far away. Journalist Michael Pollan calls this coevolution. Plants that tasted sweeter got eaten more. Getting eaten more meant spreading further. You think you're choosing the apple in the produce aisle. You're actually reacting exactly the way the tree engineered you to react generations ago. It gets stranger underground. Forest ecologist Suzanne Simard found that trees share carbon and warning signals through fungal networks, an entire web she calls the planet's original internet. You provide carbon dioxide and warmth. You get oxygen, shade, fruit. It feels like partnership. It functions more like husbandry. Ask yourself something uncomfortable. Who benefits more from a single apple tree? You get one harvest. The tree gets an entire household reorganized around its needs, watered, pruned, defended from frost, its genetic line kept alive forever through grafting. No wild animal gets that kind of devotion. Humans gave it freely and called it gardening. You assumed evolution only rewards intelligence. It rewards leverage. A creature with no brain can outmaneuver one with billions of neurons, as long as it finds the right lever. Sugar, color, scent. Trees pulled every lever your biology has. Look at what farming built. Permanent homes, because crops can't be abandoned. Property laws, because land became valuable. Calendars, because harvest dictated time itself. None of it was random. Even your grocery store proves it. Fruit sits near the entrance, bright colors at eye level, because marketers know exactly how your brain still responds to sugar and color, the same way it did when fruit trees were rewriting human behavior, one taste bud at a time. Evolutionary biologist Jared Diamond once called farming the worst mistake in human history. Skeletons from early farming communities show shorter stature, worse teeth, harder labor than the hunter-gatherers before them. The plants got permanent caretakers. Humans got a harder life anchored to soil. Nobody chose this consciously. Wheat simply produced more calories per planted seed than foraging did per hour searched. Calories won, and population always wins in the long run. That logic still runs your life. You build your week around grocery runs, your kitchen around produce that spoils. You built global refrigeration and shipping just to keep perishable plant matter alive long enough to reach you. The tree never asked. It just tasted good enough. There's something humbling here. You think of yourself as the dominant species, shaping the planet by will. But every craving for something sweet, every backyard tree you water by hand, is an old, mindless negotiation still playing out exactly as it has for 10,000 years. The trees never needed weapons. They never needed intelligence. They only needed sugar, color, and time. And you supplied everything else. You eat an apple. You think you chose it. But the tree's been farming humans for 10,000 years, and it never needed a single thought to do it.